Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about success and wealth. Two words that almost everyone desires, yet so few truly understand. Most people think success is a mystery, that wealth belongs to the lucky few, or that some people are just born for it. But let me tell you something that changed my life many years ago. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. When I first heard that, I didn't understand it. I thought if I worked harder on my job, I'd get rich. But my mentor said, "No, Jim, your income seldom exceeds your personal development." And he was right. You can earn more than you grow. If you want more, you've got to become more. If you want better results, you must develop better habits. If you want to change your life, you must change yourself first. Your value in the marketplace is directly connected to the value you bring. So the first principle of success and wealth is to invest in yourself every single day. Read the books, listen to the ideas, attend the seminars, learn the skills, build the mindset, because wealth follows wisdom. When I first heard the phrase, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job," I didn't quite understand what it meant. Like most people, I thought the way to success was to put in more hours, grind harder, and push longer at work. I believed that if I worked twice as much, I'd earn twice as much. But then I met a mentor who said, "Jim, you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to that hour." That statement hit me like lightning. He said, if you want to earn more, you must become more. Don't wish your job was easier. Wish you were better. From that day forward, I realized the real game wasn't about working harder on my job. It was about working harder on myself. Think about it. Your income, your success, your lifestyle, they're all reflections of who you are, not just what you do. The marketplace rewards value, and value comes from personal growth. You can't grow your business, your career, or your bank account until you grow you. So many people spend years improving their resumes, but never improve their mindset. They chase promotions without developing discipline, seek wealth without building wisdom, and end up frustrated because their results never match their desires. The truth is simple. Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development. Working harder on yourself means making a daily decision to become more capable, more confident, and more valuable than you were yesterday. It means reading books that stretch your thinking instead of scrolling mindlessly through distractions. It means surrounding yourself with people who inspire you instead of those who drain your energy. It means taking responsibility for your growth, your learning, and your future. Success is never accidental. It's intentional. You must decide to improve yourself so much that opportunities can't help but notice you. Let's take an example. Imagine two people with the same job. One does only what's required, punches in, punches out, collects the paycheck. The other spends extra time learning new skills, mastering communication, studying human behavior, understanding finance, and developing leadership qualities. 5 years later, their lives look completely different. One is still stuck in the same position, complaining about the system. The other is being promoted, offered partnerships, and creating wealth. What changed? The person didn't change the job. The person changed themselves. That's what working harder on yourself means. It's the commitment to personal mastery. It's waking up earlier to plan your day, reading something inspiring before you start your work, practicing gratitude to keep your attitude right, and setting goals that challenge you to stretch beyond comfort. It's about learning how to manage your emotions, your habits, your time, and your words, because those shape your destiny. Every new skill you learn, every good habit you build, every limiting belief you overcome, it all compounds into greater confidence, competence, and success. People often ask, how do I make more money? The answer isn't to demand a raise or blame circumstances. The answer is to increase your value. Develop your mind until you can solve bigger problems. Learn to communicate so well that people trust and follow you. Discipline yourself until consistency becomes your power. As you become better, the world will pay you better. That's the law of the marketplace. You get paid for the value you bring. So don't spend your life chasing paychecks. Spend your life chasing personal growth, because when you grow, everything around you grows. Your confidence, your relationships, your influence, your income. The best investment you will ever make is in yourself, not in the stock market, not in real estate, not even in business, in you. Your mind, your habits, your attitude. These are the real assets that determine how far you'll go. The day you decide to work harder on yourself than you do on your job is the day your entire life begins to change. Suddenly, you stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop wishing for success and start attracting it. You become the kind of person who doesn't need to chase wealth, because wealth begins to chase you. That's the secret. That's the shift. And once you make it, there's no going back. The law of averages: do enough and you'll win. One of the greatest principles in life is the law of averages. If you talk to 10 people, one may say yes. Talk to 10 more, get another yes. Pretty soon you can predict your own success rate. Success is not about perfection, it's about consistency. Do enough of the right things long enough and the law of averages will reward you. It's just like planting seeds. Some won't grow, some will take time, and some will surprise you with a harvest you never expected. But if you stop planting, you stop reaping. So keep showing up, keep sowing, and let the law of averages work for you. The law of averages is one of the most powerful success principles you can ever learn, yet most people overlook it. It simply says that if you do something often enough, a ratio of results will appear, and over time, that ratio will work in your favor if you stay consistent. The key is to keep doing the right things long enough for the law to reward you. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they quit before the averages have time to work. Success is not an event. It's a process of numbers, effort, and persistence. The more you do, the better your odds become. Think about it this way. If you talk to 10 people about an idea, maybe one will say yes. That's a 1 in 10 ratio. You can't control who says yes or no, but you can control how many times you try. If you need 2 yeses, talk to 20 people. If you need 10, talk to 100. That's the law of averages in motion. The problem is, most people stop after the first rejection. They think this doesn't work, when in reality, they just haven't done enough to let the averages play out. The secret is to trust the numbers. If you keep doing what works, even if it doesn't work every time, it will eventually work enough of the time to bring you success. The law of averages rewards those who stay in the game. The person who keeps showing up, keeps learning, and keeps applying effort will always outperform the person who gives up after a few tries. Every no you get is not a failure. It's simply part of the process that brings you closer to the yes. The truth is, you can't win them all, and you don't need to. You just need to win enough. Most of life's rewards come not from perfection, but from persistence. In business, sales, or personal growth, the principle remains the same. A farmer doesn't expect every seed to grow. He plants generously because he knows not all will take root. Some seeds will be eaten by birds, some will dry up, some will be washed away, but some will grow into a great harvest. The farmer doesn't cry over the seeds that didn't make it. He focuses on planting more. That's wisdom. The more seeds you plant, the greater your harvest will be. The same applies to success. Keep sowing effort, ideas, kindness, and value, because you never know which one will produce the biggest return. The law of averages also teaches us not to take rejection personally. When someone says no, it's not a reflection of your worth, it's just part of the ratio. Separate your emotions from the outcome. If you understand the law, rejection becomes data, not discouragement. It's just another step closer to success. Every failed attempt, every lost deal, every setback, each one is adding to your experience, improving your skill and sharpening your strategy. Over time, the ratio shifts in your favor because you become wiser, stronger, and more effective. The beautiful part of the law of averages is that it's universal. It works in every area of life. The more books you read, the more insights you gain. The more people you meet, the more opportunities appear. The more ideas you try, the more breakthroughs you experience. You can't always predict which effort will pay off, but you can be sure that something will if you keep going long enough. Consistency beats intensity every time. So if you're not seeing results yet, don't stop. Double your efforts. Make more calls, write more pages, share more ideas, meet more people, take more chances. Don't let a few failures convince you that you're not capable. You are capable. You just haven't done enough yet to see the averages turn. It's not about luck. It's about numbers, persistence, and faith. Success doesn't belong to the smartest or the luckiest. It belongs to those who stay in the game long enough for the numbers to work in their favor. Every great achiever understands this principle deeply. They know that if they keep knocking on doors, one will open. If they keep showing up, one day they'll be noticed. If they keep trying, eventually they'll win. That's the promise of the law of averages. Do enough, and you'll win. Rohn 3. Time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and get it back. But if you lose time, it's gone forever. Wealthy people understand the value of time. They don't spend it. They invest it. They ask, how can I make this hour productive? What can I learn today that will compound tomorrow? Each day is a piece of your life you'll never get back. So guard it carefully. Use it wisely. And never waste it on things that don't move you toward your goals. Time is the one resource that every person receives equally. Yet it's the one most often wasted. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. Wealthy people understand this truth deeply. They guard their time like treasure. Average people, on the other hand, trade their time cheaply, spending it on things that bring no return. The difference between those who achieve success and those who merely drift through life is how they value their hours. Time is life. Every moment that passes is a piece of your existence. You'll never get back. When you begin to see time this way, your entire approach to life changes. Most people don't lose their dreams because of a lack of money. They lose them because of a lack of discipline in managing their time. Every hour wasted in distraction, procrastination, or meaningless conversation is an hour stolen from your goals. The truth is, how you spend your time tells the story of what you truly value. If you say your dream matters, but spend more time watching television than working on it, your habits tell the truth. Success requires that you treat every minute as precious, because it is. Time is more valuable than money, because money can compound only when time is used wisely. You can have a brilliant idea, but if you waste your time, that idea never materializes. You can have big goals, but if you spend your days reacting to life instead of planning it, those goals remain only wishes. Every successful person has learned the art of managing time, not controlling it, because no one can control time, but managing themselves within it. They understand that time is like a river. It flows continuously, whether you use it or not. The question is, are you drifting with the current, or are you steering your boat? The secret to making the most of your time lies in awareness and intention. You must decide each day what matters most and commit your hours to those things. Most people waste their time because they've never clarified their priorities. They say yes to everything, and in doing so, say no to what truly counts. Learn to guard your schedule as fiercely as your wallet. Every yes to something meaningless is a no to something that could change your life. It's not enough to be busy. Even ants are busy. The question is, busy doing what? Productivity is not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things at the right time. Another reason time is more valuable than money is that time has the power to create money, but money cannot buy more time. You can use time to build skills, deepen relationships, create opportunities, and develop wealth. But once your time is gone, no amount of money can bring it back. Many people spend their health to gain wealth, and then spend their wealth trying to buy back their health. That's the tragedy of misplaced priorities. True wealth is having both time and health. Freedom to do what matters most. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you use your time. Plan your days with purpose. Eliminate the distractions that drain your energy. Learn to say no to anything that doesn't move you closer to your goals. Spend more time learning, growing, exercising, building relationships, and working on your dreams. Every hour invested in growth multiplies in value. Every hour wasted is a debt you can never repay. Jim Rohn once said, "Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So make sure you spend each one wisely." You don't need to manage time, you need to manage yourself. Wake up early. Plan your day before the day begins. Do the most important things first. Track how you use your hours and hold yourself accountable. Remember, time is not something you find, it's something you make. In the end, success doesn't go to the one with the most talent or luck. It goes to the one who uses their time most effectively. You can always recover lost money, rebuild lost business, or regain lost confidence. But you can never recover lost time. Treat it as your greatest asset, because it truly is. Every moment well spent is a brick laid in the foundation of your future. Use your time to build, to grow, to serve, to learn, because one day the clock will stop for all of us. And when it does, the only question that matters is, what did you do with the time you were given? Or 4. Become a person of value. Money is a reward for value, not effort. You don't get paid by the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. So ask yourself, how can I make myself more valuable? How can I serve more people? How can I solve bigger problems? When you become a person of value, money chases you. Opportunities find you, and success becomes inevitable. Remember, you don't get wealthy by wishing. You get wealthy by working on becoming valuable. Becoming a person of value is one of the deepest principles of lasting success. The world does not pay for effort alone. It pays for value. You don't get paid by the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to that hour. Some people work 10 hours a day and barely make enough to survive, while others work the same 10 hours and earn fortunes. The difference is not in the time, it's in the value delivered within that time. When you focus on becoming a person of value, you shift from chasing success to attracting it. Money and opportunities begin to find you naturally, because the world rewards those who make a meaningful impact. The first step toward becoming a person of value is to focus on growth, not gain. Most people ask, what can I get? But the question you should be asking is, what can I give? Success is not about accumulation, it's about contribution. When you bring value to others through your skills, your ideas, your service, or your character, you become indispensable. The marketplace, your relationships, and your community begin to see you as someone who makes things better. And the more you give, the more valuable you become. To increase your value, you must invest in your mind. Your mind is the factory of your future. The more you learn, the more you can contribute. Every book you read, every skill you acquire, every experience you gain adds another layer to your value. You can't stay valuable with old knowledge in a fast-changing world. The moment you stop learning, your value starts declining. So make it your mission to stay curious, to keep improving, and to master your craft. Excellence is magnetic. It draws people and opportunities toward you. Being a person of value also means developing integrity. You can have all the skills in the world, but without character, your success won't last. People trust value, but they also trust values. Be someone others can rely on. Keep your promises, tell the truth, and do the right thing even when it's hard. Integrity builds reputation, and reputation builds influence. When people know that your word is good and your intentions are sincere, doors will open for you that money alone could never buy. Another key to becoming valuable is learning how to solve problems. The world rewards problem solvers. The bigger the problem you can solve, the more valuable you become. Don't run from challenges. Run toward them. Every problem you solve increases your worth. If you help one person, you're valuable to one. If you help 100, you're valuable to 100. If you create something that helps thousands or millions, your value multiplies exponentially. So ask yourself daily, whose problem can I solve today? How can I make someone's life easier, better, or more meaningful? That's how you build true wealth, by serving others at scale. A person of value also adds energy and inspiration wherever they go. They lift others instead of dragging them down. They bring ideas, not complaints. Solutions, not excuses. They listen, encourage, and empower those around them. People want to be near that kind of energy because it creates growth. When you become the kind of person who helps others succeed, success naturally finds its way back to you. Life always returns to you what you send out. Multiplied? Ultimately, becoming a person of value is not just about business or money, it's about purpose. It's about living in a way that leaves people, places, and situations better than you found them. The goal is not to become the richest person in the room, but the most valuable, the one who contributes the most, inspires the most, and grows the most. Because when you focus on value, wealth follows. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen inevitably. So, stop trying to prove your worth, and start improving your worth. Instead of chasing recognition, build competence. Instead of seeking attention, create impact. The world doesn't reward those who demand more. It rewards those who deliver more. When you make yourself valuable, people seek you out. Employers promote you. Clients trust you. And partners respect you. The more valuable you become, the more leverage you have over your time, your income, and your destiny. Becoming a person of value is not a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong pursuit. Every day you can grow a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more capable. And every time you do, you expand your influence and your rewards. Remember, don't wish to be successful. Wish to be valuable. Because success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And the person of true value will never have to chase opportunity. Opportunity will always come knocking at their door. To C5. VA. Here's the secret. Most people miss. Success is built on discipline, not desire. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants wealth. But few are willing to pay the price in discipline. Discipline is doing what's necessary even when it's not convenient. It's reading the book when you'd rather scroll your phone. It stops waking up early when your body says sleep. It stops saving money when you feel like spending it. Discipline turns dreams into reality. And when you master discipline, you master your destiny. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, between dreams and reality. Most people want freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of choice, but they overlook the very thing that creates it. Discipline. It may sound like a restriction, but in truth, discipline is what sets you free. Freedom without discipline becomes chaos. Discipline without freedom becomes slavery. But when you master discipline, you unlock a life of control, power, and purpose. Every successful person you admire, every great athlete, entrepreneur, or leader has built their freedom on a foundation of daily discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep, reading the book when you'd rather scroll, saving money when you'd rather spend, and exercising when you'd rather relax. Discipline is the ability to act according to your values, not your moods. Most people live by emotion. If they feel motivated, they act. If they don't, they stop. But successful people have learned that motivation is fleeting, while discipline is dependable. You can't count on motivation showing up every day, but you can always rely on discipline to keep you moving forward. When you develop discipline, you gain control over your life. Instead of being a victim of habits, distractions, and impulses, you become the master of them. Every act of discipline strengthens your willpower and self-respect. You begin to trust yourself. You start to believe that when you say you'll do something, you'll actually do it. That kind of integrity builds confidence, and confidence is freedom. When you can depend on yourself, the world can't shake you. Discipline also creates consistency, and consistency compounds. Small daily efforts may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they build extraordinary results. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You just need to make small, disciplined choices every day. Read 10 pages. Save a little money. Exercise for 20 minutes. Speak kindly. Follow your plan. These simple acts, repeated consistently, will transform your life. The undisciplined person seeks shortcuts and comfort, but the disciplined person seeks progress. One day the difference becomes visible, not because of luck, but because of habits. The beauty of discipline is that it makes hard things easier over time. What feels uncomfortable at first becomes natural with repetition. The first early morning is hard, but the 10th feels easier. The first month of saving is tough, but soon you start to enjoy watching your money grow. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum becomes motivation. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you gain. Freedom from debt, freedom from regret, freedom from dependence, and freedom from fear. Many people confuse discipline with punishment, but they are not the same. Punishment is what you get when you avoid discipline. Discipline is the gift you give yourself to avoid future pain. It's what allows you to live intentionally instead of accidentally. When you practice discipline, you design your future instead of reacting to it. You learn to say no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term fulfillment. Discipline is also the key to emotional freedom. When you can control your mind, your emotions no longer control you. You stop reacting to every setback, every disappointment, every criticism. Instead, you respond with clarity and strength. You learn that feelings are temporary, but decisions based on discipline create permanent results. The disciplined person doesn't let the world dictate how they feel or act. They operate from principle. That's real power. The ability to choose your actions regardless of circumstances. In the end, discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, even when results are slow. The person who stays disciplined eventually outperforms the one who was merely talented or inspired. Discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It gives structure to your dreams and direction to your energy. If you want more freedom, don't run from discipline. Run toward it. Build routines that serve you, habits that strengthen you, and standards that challenge you. Remember, success doesn't demand perfection. It demands persistence. Every time you act with discipline, you gain another piece of freedom. Freedom from fear, from doubt, from limitations. Freedom is not given, it's earned. One disciplined choice at a time. And when you finally master discipline, you'll realize that it wasn't restriction at all. It was the doorway to the life you've always wanted. Whoa, give before you receive. One of the oldest principles of success is also the simplest. Give, and it shall be given unto you. If you want more success, help others succeed. If you want more wealth, add value to others' lives. If you want more respect, give more respect. Life pays you back in proportion to your contribution. Not immediately, not always, obviously, but always faithfully. Give your best to your work, to your relationships, to your purpose, and the rewards will come. One of the greatest principles of success, wealth, and fulfillment is this: you must give before you receive. It's one of life's oldest and most reliable laws, the law of sowing and reaping. You cannot harvest before you plant. You cannot expect rewards before you deliver value. Yet many people want the paycheck before the work, the recognition before the contribution, and the results before the effort. Life simply doesn't work that way. The soil never says, give me a crop, and then I'll give you seeds. It says, plant first, nurture first, serve first, then the harvest will come. This timeless truth applies to every area of life: business, relationships, personal growth, and even happiness itself. Giving before receiving is not just about money. It's about mindset. It's about mindset. It's about approaching the world with a spirit of contribution rather than expectation. Most people live in a state of scarcity. They ask, what's in it for me? But those who understand abundance think differently. They ask, what can I give? How can I add value? How can I serve? When you live this way, you create a magnetic force around you. People want to work with you, trust you, and help you. Opportunities begin to appear because you've positioned yourself as a giver, not a taker. The truth is, giving is not losing, it's investing. Every act of genuine contribution plants a seed for future growth. When you give time, knowledge, kindness, or effort, you set in motion a process that will eventually return multiplied. You may not see the return immediately, and sometimes it doesn't come from the same place you gave. But life has a way of balancing the scales. Give without keeping score, and life will take care of the accounting. The harvest always comes, though rarely in the form or timing you expect. In business, this principle is especially powerful. The most successful companies and entrepreneurs understand that wealth follows service. They focus on solving problems, improving lives, and creating value for others. When people trust that your intentions are genuine and your contribution real, they will gladly exchange their money, loyalty, and respect for what you offer. The marketplace rewards value, and value begins with giving. The moment you shift from what can I get from this to what can I contribute to this, you elevate yourself above the crowd. But giving doesn't just create external rewards. It transforms you internally. When you give, you expand your mindset, your heart, and your capacity. You begin to realize that abundance is not something you chase, it's something you cultivate. Generosity strengthens your character and dissolves fear. The more you give, the less you worry about losing. You become someone who sees possibilities instead of limitations. You begin to understand that the world is not a pie to be divided, but a field to be expanded. There's enough for everyone, especially for those who help others succeed. Giving before receiving also builds relationships, the foundation of all long-term success. People remember how you made them feel, not what you demanded from them. When you help someone achieve their goals, they rarely forget it. They become allies, advocates, and connectors who open doors for you later. True networking is not manipulation, it's mutual contribution. The more people you help rise, the higher you'll rise yourself. There's also a spiritual dimension to giving. It trains you to trust in the principle of reciprocity. You begin to understand that when you put good out into the world, whether it's kindness, effort, or service, it always finds its way back. You don't give to get, but you will always get because you give. The universe rewards circulation, not stagnation. Hold on too tightly, and you block the flow. Share freely, and abundance flows through you effortlessly. It's important to note that giving doesn't mean being taken advantage of or depleting yourself. True giving comes from strength, not weakness. You give because you have something valuable to offer, not because you're trying to please everyone. Giving is most powerful when it's intentional, wise, and aligned with purpose. It's about creating impact, not seeking approval. If you want more success, help others succeed. If you want more love, give love. If you want more opportunity, create opportunity for others. If you want to receive abundance, start by being generous with your gifts. The more seeds you plant, the richer your harvest will be. This is not just philosophy. It's a practical formula for prosperity. Every great life, every great business, and every great legacy is built on the foundation of giving first. So before you expect, contribute. Before you demand, deliver. Before you ask, offer. When you make giving your starting point, receiving becomes inevitable, because life, in its infinite wisdom, always returns to you what you've sent out, multiplied, magnified, and meaningful. That's the secret of wealth and happiness. Give before you receive, and you'll never go without. 7. Success is something you build daily. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time through small, consistent steps. Every book you read, every action you take, every thought you control, it all compounds. Sooner or later, your habits become your character, and your character creates your destiny. Remember this. Parfois ne te faut wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. Because when you grow, everything around you grows. Success is not something that appears overnight or arrives by chance. It's something you build every single day, piece by piece, decision by decision, habit by habit. People often look at the final product, the wealth, the fame, the recognition, and call it success. But what they don't see are the countless ordinary days that created it. True success is the result of consistent effort applied over time. It's built quietly through discipline when no one's watching, through patience when progress feels invisible, and through persistence when the road seems endless. The problem is that most people want the harvest without planting the seeds. They want the reward without enduring the process. But life doesn't work that way. Success requires daily construction, brick by brick, action by action. Every small thing you do today is laying a foundation for your future. The way you think, how you spend your time, what you read, who you listen to, how you respond to setbacks. These small, seemingly insignificant choices add up to something extraordinary over time. Success is never a single event. It's a series of small victories compounded daily. If you want to see how successful you'll become, don't look at your big dreams. Look at your daily routine. What you do consistently matters far more than what you do occasionally. Reading one page, saving $1, making one connection, practicing one skill, none of these seem life-changing in the moment. But over a year, 5 years, 10 years, they shape your destiny. Success is not built in one grand leap. It's built through 1,000 quiet steps in the right direction. Jim Rohn once said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills." This mindset is the cornerstone of daily success building. Each day brings its own challenges and opportunities for growth. If you use your days to get better, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, your future takes care of itself. Growth compounds. The person you become is the greatest measure of your success, and that person is forged one day at a time through intentional action. Building success daily also means embracing consistency over intensity. You don't need to work 20 hours a day. You need to show up every day. Success doesn't belong to the person who works the hardest once in a while, but to the person who works steadily and persistently over time. Even small progress repeated daily creates momentum. And once momentum builds, success becomes inevitable. The key is to never break the chain of effort. Even on hard days, do something. Anything that moves you forward. Of course, building success daily requires patience. Most people quit too soon because they can't see immediate results. But the seeds you plant today take time to grow beneath the surface. Success is like farming. You can't dig up your crops every day to check if they're growing. You must trust the process, water the soil, and stay consistent. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who persist long enough for their habits to bear fruit. They understand that each day's effort, no matter how small, is part of something much larger unfolding over time. There's also a certain joy in the process. When you focus on building success daily, you stop obsessing over the end result and start enjoying the journey. You find fulfillment in growth itself, in knowing that you're improving, learning, and becoming more capable. Each day becomes meaningful because it contributes to something greater. You're no longer chasing success, you're embodying it. To build success daily, start each morning with intention. Set clear goals. Decide what truly matters. Use your time wisely. Learn something new. Take care of your body and mind. Serve others. End each day with gratitude and reflection. Ask yourself, did I move closer to the person I want to become? If the answer is yes, even slightly, then you're winning. The truth is, success is not built in bursts of inspiration. It's built in quiet consistency. It's created through ordinary days, stacked with extraordinary effort. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Each sunrise brings another chance to add a brick to your foundation, another opportunity to practice excellence, another moment to prove your commitment. One day you'll look back and realize that your success wasn't one giant step. It was 1,000 small ones. It was built in the mornings. You woke up early, the nights you kept learning, the choices you made when no one was watching. That's what real success is. not an achievement, but a daily practice. So start building today and keep building tomorrow, because success is never something you wait for. It's something you create one day at a time. So here sits your challenge today. Start applying these success and wealth principles right now. Work harder on yourself than you ever have. Guard your time, value your growth, and live with discipline. Help others succeed, and you'll find yourself surrounded by abundance. Remember, success is something you attract by the person you become. Become that person and wealth will follow. Thank you.